So this is FNGR, and we're joined by the following um, diesel engine, as well as the one who got fired. And today we're talking about some hot, controversial. Uh, I, I guess insanity doesn't quite do it justice here. So a trans woman's child porn conviction was overturned because she was struggling with her identity. Is that what LGBT's code for "I was in a dark place" is? Testing. New guy. Anybody? Okay, I guess we'll go back to the reading. What was it on Chrome or no? We were on Firefox. An Australian appeals court. Oh, that makes me feel better. Thank God it's not in America. Screw you, Mall. Appeals court overturned a transgender's conviction on child pornography charges because she's been struggling with her issues concerning her transgender identity. I hope Suit Yourself does a video on this since he's from, Australia. Indeed. According to Queensland's Supreme Court September 2nd decision, Viteo Joseph Boughton, 22, was caught in January 2016 with images on her phone of a child engaging in sex acts with each other and with adults. She was 18 at the time. There was a total of 15 images depicting young boys between the ages of 5 and 16 posing naked and performing oral sex or engaging in anal intercourse, either with younger people or adults, the court said. Let me just.
And that just made me want to vomit a little.
Yeah, that's certainly a thing. Hello, guys, in the chat there. Big Tex, Conager, Gnome, Red Noodles, Icarus, Fox Kid. Hi, guys. Oh, hi, Instipius. Um, that's that's an awful lot. Now, if it would have been an 18-year-old with pictures of a 16-year-old, clearly still illegal, less horrifying. But at the age 5, I'm not feeling super forgiving. Um, yeah, 15 images. Let's see here. Last December, Boughton pleaded guilty in a district court in Bourbon to possession of child exploitative material. I hope that at the very least that they had to register on the what do they call it, the sexual registry offenders list or something like that. Um,
Yeah, I think somebody on the tweet that you did, they actually went through and they highlighted parts like that. They got at least 2 years probation, and they have to register.
okay, so at least they're registered. That's at least something. So in all likelihood, they'll probably get nicked again if they haven't changed their ways. During the sentencing, Justice Brian, I can't say that word, DEV, it'll be on screen, pointed out that Boughton had told a psychologist that she only got involved with child porn out of curiosity. That, well, if they would have found a single picture on your phone, I'm not saying legally that would have explained things, but I mean, at the time when she was struggling with issues concerning her transgender identity and sexual identity, she claimed to have stopped viewing the material at age 17. When did you start? Um, the forensic psychologist, Dr. Gavin Polk, I believe we had. Yes, we do have Dr. Gavin Polk. We'll be looking through his thing thanks to Bernie Inspector's friend Pool Guy, who I was in Limbo's Discord a hot minute ago, but nobody could join. Um, she does not present as a person who is a risk to children. Her sexual offenses appear situational and in context of low self-esteem and a lack of confidence due to teenage sexual adjustment issues, he said. There was no evidence of entrenched pedophilic tendencies. That is some good lawyering or doctoring, I guess. I'm going to assume that this person's mommy and daddy bought them a good doctor and lawyer. Justice, it'll be on screen, also noted that Boughton's youth and her lack of criminal record and the small number of images on the phone. But he found that none of these explanations really excused it obtaining child exploitation material with children as young as 5. The judge's name sentenced Boughton for 2 years probation and a mandatory medical, forensic, or psychological treatment. She was required to register as a sex offender. I'm wondering what she would have gotten though. That's the kind of more interesting point here. Sympathy for Veta Joseph Boughton, I believe that is the transgendered person in question, however, is setting down the lower court's conviction last month. Oh, maybe not. However, in setting down the lower court's conviction last month, the appeals court unanimously deemed that Boughton's punishment inappropriate and disproportionate to real risks that she presents by her offending. Now, I normally would have said is with the appeals court, wouldn't that be double jeopardy? But we're talking about Australia, and I don't know Australia's laws as far as that goes, and I don't think that we have an Aussie on hand. Let me just check the chat. Maybe one of the regulars, if Node would have been around, I could have asked him. What's up? A life page. So CP because it hurts feels. Just open the door for anything else to use this as an excuse to get away with the same exact thing. Well, the good news so far, Fluffin, is that this is only, I guess you would say, a precedent over in Australia. I don't think that would fly over here. Let's see. Oh, there is also in America. We'll get there in a minute. Written in for a... Okay, let's see. Inappropriate and disproportionate to the real risk that she presents by her offending. Writing for a 3-judge panel, Justice Philip Morrison acknowledged that possession of child exploitative material is not victimless crime. No, it's not. But as she said, in my respective view, the applicant's circumstances are unusual. Well, I don't want there to be a norm, so I don't see how that would really... Go ahead.
Yeah, their main excuse is that they're trying to give is, because this person being transgender and they were confused, I guess that's their excuse that they're using. There is no excuse.
No,
period.
I don't see that being as not a healthy label that you'd want to attach to your movement. Morrison argued that Boughton had not been shown to be sexually attracted to children, to being abused to children, or to be a risk to children. He assessed her to be as a low risk of offense. More fights and transition, damning video. Oh, that's unrelated. That's an ad.
Also, looking up the double jeopardy, I guess Queensland has a thing where they allow double jeopardy, or they don't believe it in the same sense as Americans because of a previous issue in 1987 of somebody who was previously acquitted of murder, but they tried him again.
Okay. Well, that's fine. That's their own law. It doesn't concern us necessarily, but still it's something worth looking into. On the other hand, the judge expressed a concern that a registered sex offender Boughton would be subject to erroneous requirements to report her whereabouts to police for 5 years. In particular, he worried about her ability to travel abroad and change her name after she undergoes transgender treatment. Tough tits. Tough shit. Oh my God! No, I absolutely understand, and quite frankly, look, I'm probably gonna piss people off here, and I generally feel that respect can be gained and learned, gained and lost. No, I would probably not honor this person's new name. For if you want a practical reason why I wouldn't, I don't want them getting away from their past. And if me stating their old name causes them emotional and physical harm, good.
That's a lot of bullshit. I don't believe in transsexual identities.
Let's not muddy the waters too much. We don't have to go that far.
Be quiet, Power Ranger.
No, we can touch on that perhaps later. And I don't want to and here's the whole thing. I'm not. It isn't supposed to be a big gotcha moment to haha, they've always gone too far. I'm just looking at going, why? This is just a terrible fucking idea here. Okay, anyways, Morrison also appointed that Queensland's Supreme Court in 2015 has made controversial lenient rulings before. Last March, he determined a 1-month sentence was too harsh for a man who punched his partner in the face, calling him a slut and a cunt. I'm going to assume are the words. I'm going to go out and guess here. In the United States, piss off. 1-month sentence. I don't know. Anyways, in the United States, elsewhere, some observers have accused the justice system of being too differential to transgender suspects, and in criminal in particular. On Monday, a jury in Dallas, Texas, opted not to award Jeffrey Younger a sole custody of his son James, whom his ex-wife had been raising as a girl, against the father's wishes. The Texas reported that the wife's lawyer said she does not plan to give James hormone blockers at the time, but no one has stated that she would not be open to using them when James begins puberty. That's worded a little weird, I think, or maybe I'm reading it like an idiot. I'll blame it. I'll take the blame. Which would be argued age 11 and half for a boy, the report said. On Wednesday, Texas Governor Greg Abbott announced that the state's Attorney General's office and Department of Family Protective Services were looking into the boy's case. Fuck, we ran out of shit already. So I guess we'll go take a look at Veteran Joseph or the I have a double here. We'll look at the doctor in a minute. What do you guys think in the comments? Icarus Fox Kid, I'm sure I probably really don't want to know, but how exactly did she get all these? Did she find them, buy them, or take them herself? Oh, hey Gage, what's up? Sorry for acting like a dumbass in your comments. I'm going to apologize about that. I was really tired. It was the weekend, and I decided to ass off. I know you're really a cool guy, and I didn't really mean to shit on you. Gage, the Doom guy, you guys should go check out his channel. He goes after pedophiles. Let's see here. Same for rapists and serial killers. Scrolling around here. Keep lollies out of the Christian Minecraft server. Lol, funny fluffin'. Blinky Iris, I'm wondering the same. I don't know exactly. I'm assuming the pictures weren't from people that she met firsthand. I can't imagine that the court over in Australia would have let her go if these were people that she personally offended. All the same. How goes FNG? It goes good, Gage. If you've got a Discord, I'd love to freaking have you on. I'm a big fan of the channel. Gay things. Hi, Cody. What's up? Oh, we've actually got some fucking decent people in the comments. Oh, you're all decent. I said something really retarded there. It's the problems of being high. I mean, not high. I'm not high. I'm going to stop talking now. It's live. That's the word I wanted. I wanted to go with live here. So I guess we'll go back to the doctor thing. Where is it? Let's see. Dr. Polk has an extensive experience in treating clients for forensic mental health concerns. He was a doctorate in the field of forensic psychology and has over 60 publications and has also qualified barrister. Isn't that with plants, I think? He focuses on assessments and treatments of individuals who have experiences with legal problems due to mental health issues. He has provided forensic evaluations and treatment services to victims of crimes and has prepared numerous medical legal assessments. Okay. Topics are anxiety. Well, let me just check back, see what you guys are saying. How it goes. Everything's fine. That I've got. Cool. Oh, hi, Blinky. Get yourself some booze, man. I think you'll need it after this. No, I'm actually doing pretty good after a good night's sleep after freaking work and all the scrumble and the bumble. By the way, for anybody who saw the last video that I uploaded about Gunnar Nelson, I'm going to try and, if the audio I feel is kind of askew, I'm going to get a better up-touched version for BitChute. I've included a link there. You guys should definitely sub and keep an eye on that. YouTube's always very super wishy-washy about content, especially with, like, December 9th coming around the corner and some channels might poof on you guys. That'd definitely be a highly, suggestion to go check that out. Oh, Coyote Lovely, congratulations on getting your channel monetized. I try to, when I click on one of your videos, leave it up for full retention regardless once I've already been there anyways. Yeah, Gunnar was a special something or other there, Hastur. Anybody who thinks that you're just being a dick to him for his voice, I was like, look, I listened to his whole case the last time we spoke, and it sounded like he didn't know that the girls he was talking to were underage, and after he did, he found out he stopped. But that's later on, I found out that he'd gotten himself into more trouble. I think I had gotten a reply from one of the girls that he'd spoken to, so we're going to definitely... We probably haven't gotten to the end of that situation. More and more of that's going to...
I think Ben had him yesterday afternoon. We had a big talk with him yesterday.
He's like, you're just dying to talk about... I'm like, no, I wanted to go to bed so bad. And I was like, oh, cool, we're hanging out with Wub. But, even then, like, even with having a fairly good call, I got 3 hours of sleep that night before work. and then I came home, and then I had to go like edit and throw that shit together because I didn't. When I got to work and I had my laptop with me, I'm like, fuck, I don't have Vegas on here. And then when I was gonna make the better version of it the next day, I was like, oh crap, I took the call off of the video, so now I can't edit the better version up while I'm at work. I'm doing too many things at breakneck speed, I guess, or not enough things, not enough focus on stuff. I gotta stay more motivated. Icarus the Fox Kid says he sounded like a low-level beta that's was looking for sympathy. Well, I guess I fell for it hook, line, and sucker last time. I do apologize to everyone, and I'm not gonna cover it up. I fucked up in that situation the first time. I did not ERP with her. Oh, hi Cloud. Oh, lol, funny has to her. But let's get back to the medical thingamajig. Let's see. Fucking work mouse. There we go.
Honestly, I just sit back and just watch the dumpster fire happen.
Okay, so let's see. He is an expert on depressions, expert witness, family court impairment. I'm seeing if there's something specifically. Psychosis, self-harm, sex offenders. I guess we'll look at his history with sex offenders. Oh, no. Please look at the following. Top medical. I guess it doesn't show his history on it. Let me just check back on the Limbo Discord real quick and see if Cloudy or Random Pool Guy had more information on him. No, that's not so far. But as what's the chat that I was in just now? The Sweetie Squad. Who was the one who was speaking up before? Was that Swift or?
That was Cam.
Cam. Okay. Cam is the one who ended up making the remark about the transgender thing. As tempting as it is,
No, that wasn't Cam. I hit the wrong thing.
Okay. Well, so which who?
It might have been Ben.
I call him the Power Ranger. It was the Power Ranger.
Oh,
Red Rat that was talking
It
about.
was Cam.
oh, Red Rat. Okay, so
To be honest, the seeing the whole transgender thing is just fucking bullshit.
They're buzzing.
yeah, that's a really shit mic, man. They're not that expensive. For the price of one good AAA game, you could get yourself a fairly decent headset. I suggest MSI off of Amazon. I could get you a link later. Or you could type it out and we could read it
Not
off.
all trainings are bad. It's just one of them I dealt with in the past. Really pissed me off.
Well, we're about more beyond being pissed off at someone for being a shitty person. We're dealing with people who are severely dangerous at this point. Okay.
The thing that I don't like is that they're allowing it to be an excuse for I was just confused and I didn't know what I was doing. And if she stopped using them at 17, you get rid of them. You have no reason to keep them, and for one, you have no reason to have anyone age of 5. Like, if you have somebody close to your age range, so if she said she stopped doing it at 17, she's probably maybe 15, 16, you know? Okay, but why do you have 5 and, you know, pre-pubescent? It's disgusting.
Honestly, I find him pathetic.
Well, again, I addressed the fact that basically when they were charged that they were 18, and quite frankly, if it said from ages 16 to 5, it would have been still illegal if an 18-year-old would have been. Well, actually, if anyone is looking at a 16-year-old, it's not excusable. Even if you're younger, it's all. Well, actually, I don't know Australian law for that. I'm going to make an assumption here because I know in England and the United States, all 50 states, that's considered child pornography, but. Technically, we don't have to worry with that because they went as low as 5, and the fact that they went about this, presumably with multiple boys.
I'll just cover it in the like you said, it's blown out of the water because they were young as 5, but the age of consent in Australia is 16.
There's other things I'd like to have asked. Did she distribute any of these pictures amongst other people? Maybe, is it possible that they might have gotten a lightened sentence because they rolled on other people? God, I wish there was so much more about this current article, but I think it just dropped. Let me take a look. But how soon was this ago? October 24th. Okay, so that's fairly recent. Let me just make absolutely sure. Yeah, yesterday. So that's an interesting question. I remember having to ask a couple of my friends. You guys are familiar with Jeffrey Epstein, right?
Yes.
Now, what do you when people generally roll on other people, they get reduced sentences. As you know, legend would have it, Jeffrey had a lot of information on a lot of people. I half jokingly said, "Hey, look, if they want to knock off 6 months for each person he rolls over on, well, do you guys feel that that would have been appropriate or what?"
I think it would probably come down to a point, like, depending on how many people he knew, like, there'd have to be a cutoff point, because he'd still have to face some kind of punishment on his own. So it's like, if you can give this many people, then, okay, this is where your sentence will end, but not to where, like, he could just
Oh yeah, like,
literally get off scot-free.
well, look, I'm not saying I'm the guy's fan. I think no one's upset he's dead for like his sake. They're upset that basically maybe information or Red, I'm gonna need you. You know, I'm just gonna mute you. No offense, that buzz is killing it. Bunk. There we go. Um, I don't know. I guess it would boil down to what information you had and how valuable it is, right? I mean, if basically he had information that led to like people who were really endangering like hundreds of kids or some shit like that. I mean, he
Yeah,
was.
if you could take down, like, a whole ring and a whole trafficking system, like, that'd be awesome, but unfortunately now we're left with unknowns.
Well, that's another curious thing about that they're like, oh, this is kind of a dead end now. It's like, did all his footage just disappear? Like what?
Like, did they not interview him at all before he
Well, let's.
kicked the bucket?
Yeah, from what I understand, that you can, in certain exceptions, use testimony. I don't understand why, in Epstein's case, why was he even in a prison? I don't see why he wasn't like kept in like a government facility where they could have escorted him to and from. I didn't specifically need him in a prison. I just needed him somewhere we wouldn't have gotten away. I would think, for the greater good of all the things that we could have gotten out of the guy. That's just my thought. Other than let's put him somewhere where he's likely to die, and we know that there's better use than just having him die in such a situation, especially after the first suicide attempt. Sorry, I got completely. Well, I'm not sure if I would have said sidetracked. There wasn't much left to talk about. What's the person's name again here? Joseph Bunton. Veda Joseph Bunton. That's interesting. That's going to be uncomfortable to see them at meetups and such. Christ. Please. Pisses me off that people like the rest of the world want us eradicated. Wait, what? From Big Mamita. Pisses me off these people make the rest of the world want us eradicated. Oh, I think they're referring they're referring to LGBT and being lumped in with pedophilia. As long as on a whole that they disavow and they don't allow that level of acceptance. I want to keep seeing higher people in LGBT going, no, that has nothing to do with us. This is disgusting. We disavow. That's not a valid excuse. Hopefully people will keep an eye on this person and not just a wink and a nudge. Especially if there are I don't know an excessive amount of LGBT culture. Like, I don't know. I'm assuming that there's kind of like in Australia, like, how do I put this? Like pride parade meetups, because like they have those in US. Just only logic would descend and sing like someone like this kind of like parade around, and they just like, don't bother them. The courts have ruled. I would encourage any kind of group to discourage the inclusion of child predators in their gatherings. I don't know. Sounds like a no shit Sherlock to me. Okay, wait a minute, Icarus.
Yeah, I think they covered. I think they covered it at the end of the article about like once they finish their change in their name and they change their name and do all that. I want them to go through the process of going back on the list, like, because I think that was something people mentioned being afraid of is when they change their name.
Oh, you bring up a good point there, and I'd be willing to split the difference on that. We're like, oh, if they're like, it's absolutely necessary that I have the name change, and I'd put it like this: if you want to do the name change, then you have to go back through like the process here of like, we'll give you the choice. You could choose if you don't want to go through all the legalese of having to be dragged back into court and being like, this, that, and the other. That's fine. But if you really want to do it, then maybe have well,
I think what would happen is she wouldn't go to prison for child porn, but what would happen is if they refuse to say, I changed my name, because they have to keep track of them for 5 years, then they'd be the new charge would be probably like dodging the list, or because I think there's something for that where people
violation of probation or some shit like that. I'm sure there'd be something or other. I actually don't know how far the courts or law enforcement actually pursue someone on that. I haven't talked to anyone from that side of the field. There was somebody on Twitter I was looking to speak to the other day, but I got distracted by far more important things, or at least someone far more important in my opinion, than a predator I think I found out about through that Cass Warfox was talking about. But I'm sure that would have been a headache to really go into anyways. It was an Englishman who wound up leaving England for Vietnam. They were somewhat difficult to talk to on Twitter, but they were somewhat interested in doing a stream. They're like, oh, I don't have the best of mic. I'm listening to your music play. And they're like, oh, well, the audio is completely different for instruments than it is talking. And I was like, this sounds like if they popped in and there was buzzing, I'm sure that we could have called it a wash, but it's something I was still interested in looking in. Do you guys have any other thoughts? I guess I'll look back at the stream as well here. Wink wonk. Alright, you stop being a furry coyote. Max, their wolf, it makes me feel bad that these people are doing this. Looking through Blinky, I'm all rating out. Anything okay, coyote. Does anybody have any other things concerning in the fandom that maybe I should be looking into right now? Brony, furry, or otherwise? Because I'd hate to think that there's anything I'm ignoring right now, and I've been somewhat distracted. I'd hate to think that I was being negligent.
I'm not really sure if it counts. Like, I know the favorite orange idiot raccoon posted a video about any arts, but I don't know where you stand on that.
Well, wait. What's the topic?
It had screenshot conversations between him and Emmy. Hold on, I think I have the link somewhere.
Oh, do you mean A&Y Pony?
No. I mean, it was on Ichabod's channel.
Oh! What is Ichabob up to now? I could talk about that briefly if you'd like. So, as far as my thoughts on Ichabob, and I had a discussion about this with Patrick Hart and my girlfriend Rouge, Quillstroke is trying to make this defense that, he's like, well, he what was the big deal? This, that, and the other about the girl that he was kind of sort of pursuing was 17. And I'm like, okay, so maybe not. But from what I heard about Ichabob, he's a deadbeat dad, as far as I understand. I'm still trying to get some proof on that. And the reason why we go after child predators is because they do harm to children. If you're a father of a kid and you're not providing the proper legally designated amount of money that you should be paying into your child's well-being, I think I'm trying to handle this delicately. If you're not providing what you should, because I recognize the fact that I'm old, I'm a juvenile fuck too, but if for whatever reason I had a kid, I'd have a duty and responsibility to be more of an adult and be there for them. And not providing the emotional and financial support is arguably on par, or perhaps even worse than what an online predator does. And I'd like to address to Quillstroke, who's sort of like, giving a wink and a nudge at like Ichabod, and like, You should be telling your friend who's allegedly dating them, that's not cool and you don't support that. That's just my shitty opinion. Here, I'll look at your thing, Firepaw. Okay, so let's take a look. Alright. So this is from Ichabob's channel, is what you're saying? Yeah?
Yeah, he literally did it this morning.
Oh.
I completely forgot I was still subscribed to that dingus.
Oh.
It's been 2 months.
Okay. So, let's see.
Okay. So this is the DM so far.
Alright, so there's probably going to be one person's name I omit that I've already seen so far. Ichabob. This is from Mintheart. Why do you have an unlisted videos scrolling through our DMs? I gave Leo everything important in the rest of our conversations, including Minecraft, and my emotions and other people. Private things are not important and were not relevant to the situation. It's why I kept the others' shit out of the screenshots. Take down then the videos now. It's not relevant. It's a massive breach of privacy. Mint, you have demonized me as a predator. I don't know what else to do. There was so much context missing every time I expressed discomfort and not wanting to talk about the same thing. So for people who in the know here, Ichabob, aka the channel here, which seems to have the comments turned off, that always gets a downvote out of me, is someone who was trying to hit on a 17-year-old. I guess the cat's out of the bag with that being Mintheart. That's already been long out of the bag. He's been in chat rooms where, like, top of the barrel, where they frown on that sort of behavior, and part of his excuse of, like, you know, of him being creepy was, well, I've got cancer. Okay, let's say that facing your mortality has put you in a bad headspace. I don't mean to make light of cancer. I've certainly lost a uncle of mine to bone cancer, and it was a horrifying, horrific experience. I can't speak to the amount of pain that Ichabob has gone through. That's why I'm citing the kid thing, because no matter how scared and fucked up you are, look, many of us, if not all of us, I'm trying to be careful in Quillstroke's case because I think their father had passed away. He still has a duty and a responsibility to be there for his kids. So if you were creepy with a 17-year-old, yeah, I'm going to look down on you. I'm not going to call you a pedophile as far as that goes, Ichabob. Maybe there's some other shit that we'll find out later. But you kind of seem like a douche, at least, as far as that goes. As far as the kid goes, that's disgusting. Your kid.
Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down.
Yes, we got that. You know what? We'll just use the arrow to skip ahead here. And if you're not a predator, what are you?
Hey, see ya.
Oh, you have to go? Hello?
It's just red rad.
Okay, that's fine. I'd already muted him back. If you wanted to capture the context that you could have done so, you did not need to scroll through everything again. There is a lot of shit that is private. Oh wait, let me pause. Personal. I cared about you and you wanted to be happy. I said that many times. We were supposed to be friends. I tried to help you with Vita and Step because I wanted you to be happy, not in my bed. So another thing I'd been told about Ichabob is that he felt that he had to explain BDSM to Mintheart to prepare her for the internet. At best, at very best, I would say if I were Mintheart's parents, get the fuck away from this guy. Yeah? I think, yeah. Ichabob is like kind of 30ish. Look, if it would have been like somebody around like 17, 18 saying this stuff, I'd be like, it's on your, it'd be on Mint at that point, really. But yeah, I feel that you're certainly not presenting yourself in the best light here, Ichabob. I know you hate my guts. I know you were a total bitch and talked about me anonymously on your channel. Why don't you find a fucking set and come fucking step up to me, you fucker? I know you blocked me like a chicken shit bitch, but let's get back to this. I didn't screen cap the stuff about your life like Maggie and Tess. there was no need to. It wasn't important. I want to respect your privacy. Now, if Maggie and Tess, if either of those are his kid that he's basically not supporting, I would differ to beg. Anyways, you also left out the most of the conversations of the fact that I said so many times I didn't want to ever talk about anything that you weren't comfortable with. Okay. Wait, go back. Let's see. I didn't want to be I didn't want you to be with me. I wanted you to figure out that too many people treated you like shit and you were worth more than that. But no, it doesn't matter anymore. I'm an orbiting pedo because I took the time to care. Again, I think that there's somewhat of a difference between being an orbiter and, quite frankly, if you only orbited around a 17-year-old, I'm going to say probably shouldn't have done that, especially when, from what I heard, that you already have a couple of relationships going already. There's a hard 18 line for consensual... It's just bad there. Going on ahead here, you could have screen capped specifics. You didn't need to grab everything, ichabob. You really hurt me. If I missed some stuff, it was because I was so incredibly stressed and hurt and had a deadline that I am skimmed over a lot of stuff. Alright, so my advice to everyone who is completely stressed out, pop off the internet for a day or walk the fuck away from social media. That's been what I've had to do a couple of times.
The whole reason this even caught, well, like I said, I didn't even realize I was still subscribed to this guy, but the thing that got me is why now? 2 months of not posting anything, and
I'll eat that blame. I will eat that blame. So last weekend, I freaking goddamn I put his name in a hashtag because I know it spreads out more for whatever reason. Don't make me explain it. It made sense to me at the time. And I started tweeting, so and so in the he's currently hanging out in the Has-Been Hotel community, and I said, just be aware this guy here is an orbiter, so forth and so on. He's a creepy deadbeat dad. Spread around, and I think it got 30 hearts or 30 retweets. Enough people noticed, and I'm sure enough people the ones who weren't blocked came up and gave him the business, and
Okay, because I remember. Okay, so it was because of that.
So yeah, I will absolutely yeah.
Because I think Leo and them, well, they because the Radio Demon has linked to the Netherlands timeline.
Yeah,
so they believe that account.
If anybody from Vita to Leo or any shit like that wants to blame anybody, I probably kicked the hornet's nest and pissed him off. So yeah, my fault. Orbiter, yes, but not a pedo. I wouldn't go as far as to call you that. Not everyone would either. I certainly would encourage people to keep an eye on Ichabob, but the fact that he's blocking so many people. I forgot who I had this discussion with. I think it was Sheldon, where I said, it'd be cool if there was an unofficial pre-sexual register watch list, a helpful guide,
I thought there was. There's an in-between to someone to watch.
Well, here, I'll look at it this way. You ever see the movie Seven, for example? Oh, here, I'll explain. There's a spot in there where Morgan Freeman's talking to his partner, and he says there's an FBI list out there that when you check out certain books out of the library, they kind of put you on a watch list, like Mein Kampf, The Anarchist Cookbook, and so forth and so on. It's not official. They're not supposed to have it. I kind of like it, kind of don't like it, but I kind of wish that we had this for certain behavior, and I feel that very comfortable saying that Ichabob should be watched probably about as much as somebody who checks out a book like Mein Kampf. That's it. And well, until we talk about him being a deadbeat dad, that might be a bit more erroneous and disgusting. Mint, you need to get Vita the hell out of your ear. I think Mint said that Vita wasn't exactly in their ear right now. I don't know. I don't care if you're 18 or 80. That man, once again, hurt you time and time again, and you forgave him. I don't know the specifics of that. Mint hasn't told me the specifics of that, so I'm not going to comment. It's time for me to stop defending someone who wants to go after me. It's private because you asked, and I gave you enough of shit about it. You as a person to respect that. Again, Ichabob, you are free to come up to me and ask for a stream at any time. You reach down and find your huevos, your yarbros, your balls, and be a fucking man. The easier way of probably proving that might be pay for your fucking kid. And, I'll stop talking about you. Okay. But don't talk to me about hurt, because I never should have given you the time of day, let alone the encouragement. You're a good person, but you did worse than blank ever have done. There's certain people I'm not legally required to, and I want to keep it that way because I can go wherever the fuck I want right now. Beyond all that shit, though, as passed off as you took my kindness and turned it into something dirty. Live Live a happy life, Mint. Be good and care for yourself. You are still a good person. You have need to get your head on straight. Read our DMs again. Remember why we even started talking the way we did. I don't know. I don't see how you have addressed, and maybe it's in his audio. Why you?
I don't think he even reads.
Did he address Did he address the BDSM?
No, literally, what parts I saw of it is it's just him constantly scrolling down, and there'll be clips of silence. I think he's probably got a Miss Steam or somebody else on a call with him, and he's just scrolling down through this chat block while talking to this individual, but you barely hear the other person.
It's okay. So hold it. I am going to include Ichabob's video in the discussion here. Da 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 da. I'm sure I've probably butchered the name. The original Icky Sticky. Alright. Beyond all that shit, though, as pissed off as I am, you took my kindness and turned it into something dirty. Because, my sexual degeneracy, anyways. Live a happy life, man. Make good care of yourself. Read our DMs again. Why we started to talk what you did. For God's sakes, if you're uncomfortable with anyone else, you tell them nobody deserves your time. Okay. Oh, 1 second. Oh, fucking... No, stop. Alright, here we go. Blank, the one person who lied about multiple people raping her. I do believe, if there was a person mentioned here, that they've accused their father, myself, and their brother, moving along, who lied about multiple people manipulating her, who backstabbed many people, including me, because I told her to cut out people who she said were harming her emotionally and mentally. How dare you say I'm worse than that? That's a slap to the face. You aren't worse. You did worse to me. Okay, another center of the universe motherfucker right here. But it's also not about me right now. That's been up a while. Someone has it, I'm sure. I'm sorry if that puts you out. Let me just peek back at Skype in case anyone's sent me any messages. I'm not being screamed at. Everyone must truly be busy right now. Come on. Scrolling. The arrow option on your keyboard that allows you to jump ahead like this is so fucking beautiful. When anyone says, "Oh, I don't like if someone like Linus Tech Tips puts the ads straight onto the video, not the jump away ones, you can hit the arrow a couple times and you'll poof right by it. No one deserves my time. Maybe you're right about that, but I have people like Step and someone who is pure. They're totally dating. Who actually cares about me. Who has never hurt me. Who respects me. Oh, it's true. Step is a magnificent human being who's never done anything bad ever. Totes. And sure, Vita has hurt me, but he was right about you being a terrible person. I don't know freaking Ichabob top to bottom, but there's certainly some shit that's raising my eye, and even though he's hurt me, I've accepted him back because he's never gone to the lengths that you have. Give him time. Anyways, you've never insulted me and talked down to me like this. Yeah, you called me a predator, Mint. You took our conversations and turned it into something disgusting. Step is a good kid and he cares. Oh, we agree on something. Vita cares, but he takes shit too far. I'll reserve my right to not shit talk that at this moment. If anyone wants to see what I think about Vita, check out my Twitter. And nobody has owed you your time and kindness. But you want honestly, sure you have honesty. Yeah, I'm not happy this turned into a shit show. I hate that I had to take our conversations and make them public, and I'm a fucking prick for doing it. I like hanging out with blank. She's fun, yes. That is an allegation. We are still not dating. And I don't see why Quillstroke is having a meltdown arguing and defending you about that. Okay. I was angry. I don't think that you're a predator and an idiot and a liar. An idiot and a liar, sure. Well, that's so far matching up. An orbiter as well. But not a pedo and not a predator. Well, maybe. If you were having this discussion live, don't do that. Like, either make your choice or not. Well, I don't know you as well as I thought I did. I don't know who else you may have done this to. So I can't say much on that past what I've observed. And obviously, I have terrible judgment. I reserve the right not to comment there. They did like Beetlejuice, so it's not entirely bad judgment. There's at least a quality in there. Mint, you asked me to take it down. I have all I can see what you have shown me and what we've said. Vita took every little thing Blank did and blew it out of proportion, and then Beryl did that too. That is true. Not going to deny that. There were some things that definitely needed some criticizing. But like the GoFundMe thing, ichabob. Would you like to come on and talk about the GoFundMe thing? No? Like, if someone were hypothetically, theoretically, to raise a GoFundMe for one of their friends who medically needed assistance and they just yanked it down and pocketed themselves, I don't care what the reason is, that's pretty douchey. Is it douchier than not taking care of your kids? It's close. It's real close. Not quite as bad as you, ichabob.
It's a complete shit show.
Yeah.
I don't know the whole details of the GoFundMe.
Well, here's the thing about the GoFundMe. According to Leo, from what I'd heard, that happened sometime when I allegedly may have been involved with this individual. By God, that would have been a rough pill. That would have been rough to get through, but I would have encouraged them. I think I probably would have had to pay for it my damn self if I would have chose to stick in there, because I couldn't just let that fucking be there. What would it was like $300? Well, we'll say it was a couple hundred. It certainly was stiff. It certainly was about the same price as an airplane ticket. But anyways, flying out to someplace like Massachusetts for legal fees. But anyways, Blank did a fine job, fam, doing that herself. It was also harmless. Her little pictures were harmless. Accusing people, the little misgender alarm, anyways, of rape is harmless. Going around to multiple people saying me and this dude is dating is harmless. The pictures were harmless, and you asked me the truth, so I told over and over again. Okay. Moving. We're making good progress here. Because her consistency had people confused on top of you exactly not being trustworthy, it was hard to say it for sure. No one still knows. I don't know what to believe anymore. Buttons is spewing... Whoops. Multiple people that all I know. So again, I advise you to sit the fuck down, and tell her to knock it the fuck off. We still aren't dating. Yes.
Coyote says that he's got the call about the GoFundMe recorded with Leo.
Okay. You got that in a Google Drive or something? My favorite furry. We'll call him Special B from now on. Dumb bitch disease themselves. I guess if we don't get that before then, I'll upload it on Coyote Lovely. Oh, fantastic. I'll unlist it and then send you a link. But I'm not to link it anywhere, right? We're not to use it in stream. Yeah. Is there? I'm assuming you're too busy for a call right now, Coyote. Mm. Anywho, use it if
He
you
says
want.
you can use it if you want.
Oh, I'm surprised you didn't just upload it on your channel then, or just download it too. Okay, you know what? There's reasons why, in case you need it. Okay, I'm already kind of shooting over the fucking line here a bit. But what can you do? Let's see. We're still dating. Oh, we still aren't dating. We still aren't in a relationship. But even after all that, that's an interesting thing. People should look through Spoken Mind's Twitter about that whole topic. I said awful things that she's comforted me that I was in tears over this. That's the reality, not a guilt trip. Don't get the wrong idea about it. You know, I still keep telling everyone I talk to you about this shit. The orbiter pedophile predator accusations, I wish no malice, no ill will to you, and you're good people protecting each other's. So, in regards to that, ichabob, if someone were to do that to me, I would get even, and then I would let it go. That's why there's several videos up about a certain person up on my channel that aren't going anywhere. That's the reality of my night after the stream is I forced myself to be strong. I forced myself to suck it up, all the anger and pain. That was really suck. I comfort my friends who were torn up me about no longer being online, who were feeling out of it and being pained and disappointed about the whole time. Yes, we protect each other, burning love, with a burning love because these people are like family. Well, sometimes bros and friends are like that, and I thought you were too. I'm still in the sidelines despite the accusations, doing the same damn thing, protecting you, even though the arrows are coming from your direction. So do explain, Ichabob. How housed are you protecting Menthart? I will say in full transparency to Quillstroke, who claimed that Menthart used their wilds to entrap Ichabob. I offered to pay an amount of money. I think Leo offered to bring the total amount to $200. I'm going to do you one more solid. And he wanted evidence beyond a shadow of a doubt. I'm going to put up $200 all on my own. If you could put plausible doubt, for Ichabob's sake, I'll pay you $200 direct, Quill. You've been a bro in the past. I have reason to believe that you didn't continue to be, but I still appreciate it. And the Quillstroke I remember is the same person who was screaming a Dusky novel, trying to protect people, because you cared about kids. Moving on. So I'm a bad guy and I need to go away and stop talking to you. That's fine. Well, that's not what this looks like. As I've pointed out several times in the past, I'd like to have a closure moment with Dog Eye Crimson. It's not going to happen. I want a solid gold toilet. It's not going to happen. So, well, that's fine. I've always said that your choice, and I'll respect that. I'll also keep telling every last person that I was wrong, I got too close, and not to blame you. I don't even know Ichabob. I'm still processing this all. I don't know what to think or feel. I know our conversations were wrong, but I thought that you were a genuinely good guy, and everything Jace and them were saying just makes sense. I'm saying just makes sense. They're even been dealing with stuff like this for ages. They know better. That shouldn't have happened, no. Am I a good guy? Yeah. Did I lie to Vita and Beryl? Yeah, I did. I don't think you're a good guy. I don't hate you for lying to Beryl. That's your call. If anyone really wants them, I'll upload them unlisted again. Toss you a link. You can share it with at this point, and I'm going to keep taking the beatings you've earned that being my friend. I will if asked, and I'm sorry about this too. This whole thing was a much bigger mess. Again, Ichabob, if you feel that you're being beat up, why don't you come step to me? You sure seem to mind doing it under your breath because you're bitch made. Then I thought of it would be, I'm more lost than ever on how I think and feel. And I don't want to say anything to anyone else or break because my friends need me to be strong and tell me everything that will be okay. Please keep it private. No one needs to know everything that we talked about. A lot of it is very private things and in our personal lives, and again, and no one needs to know. Well, I will match you on that. The last 2 times I got into it to Mint Heart was the adult and came up to me and was very responsible. And I think that that's as fair as that goes. Now, has Mint Heart always been that super cool person? No. But recently, and when I say recently, like, I'd say at least a year, at least 6 months, Mint Heart has been a solid G for 6 months. And that's a pretty strong fucking time period. Probably longer.
Well, because also, like, they've been growing on the internet. Because I think when they started on the internet, they were a minor. They were a child, still learning.
I'm not a psychiatrist. I can't really sit there, and I'm just saying that as far as my personal experiences with Mint Heart, I feel that Mint Heart has been a lot more responsible. I may come back to regret that. Maybe it was just I was in a shitty place, and they were able to sit there and talk things through and make sense, especially during the whole fusion situation. Mint Heart was the MVP of what is it, Fuchsia or whatever his goddamn name was. It's been a while. Brony Bucks. I think that would have been a real ugly, disgusting display. Way far more worse. What a lot of people are like, I don't like what you did here. You have no idea how bad I was about to just fire off in all kinds of directions, and how angry and pissed off right when I heard some idiot going, I wasn't really going to out him and yeet him off the internet for the child pornography. Oh, I was goddamn. I was screaming at my laptop at work going, are you fucking kidding me? Anyways, no one needs to know. Continuing on. Mint, seriously, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be this monster they say. If you ever want to talk, I think you've done enough, ichabob. Don't bother to try changing someone's mind at this point. Sure, you could come up and talk to me, ichabob. Maybe I completely have the wrong idea about you. Especially if you aren't dating someone that the people are accusing you of. You should have no problem coming to talk to me, ichabob.
The only issue I have with these screenshots is if you look at his icon picture, you'll clearly see that that's his old icon picture because he's using the Rocket Raccoon now.
Okay.
So the timestamps mean absolutely nothing at this point. So we don't know when they were.
All right. So you're suggesting that some of this has been.
I think it's old news. I think he's finally just now trying to bring it back out.
Okay.
But none of this is.
Oh, I was wondering if he edited any of these because, I mean, there's certain people I could talk to. I think Sheldon kind of knows a little bit about artifacting. I'd prefer, even if I could talk to ZD, that was just a fucking goddamn nightmare. There's people who could kind of look and see if these were edits. I'm not that guy. I don't want to be a monster, and I don't even know if you see it like that. I'm confused and hurt, and I feel incredible terrible. If someone's making you feel that shitty, walk away from them. Everything. I hate this. I don't even feel like I did the right thing despite saying I did. I'll leave you be from now on. Though I wasn't even supposed to be talking to you, I want this video gone and to stay gone. Again, ichabob, if I'm completely wrong about you being a deadbeat dad, if you're paying everything that you're supposed to being your kids, if you're being there for them, I will open up Trimmer and cut out this whole back end. And I will give you an apology on Twitter and on YouTube. But it's going to take for you to grab your balls and fucking man up and fucking address these things. Mint, you didn't do anything wrong, okay? If you feel this way, you did the right thing. I can't handle the hits. I can handle the hits. It's going to suck. I'm sure I'll have to talk to CPS a few times. What's that?
Child Protective Services, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
I'm going to say leave me alone forever and you'll still have a friend in my eyes. I think you really should stop. Made a promise and I'm keeping it beyond everything. You're my friend. If anything, I feel like the monster. I'm a shitty fucking person and a goddamn idiot. No, you aren't. You aren't a monster. You aren't a shitty person. You did whatever you thought was right. I am curious why, as a result of this, that you'd have to talk to Child Protective Custodies. Is Vita specifically, like, trying to contact...
It might be Leo.
Okay.
Well, I don't know, but I think Leo's mentioned it before about how he wants... I'm not going to put words in Leo's mouth because that's going to bite me in the ass, but...
Okay,
I believe Leo has automatically made it clear, like, he does not condone anything of Ichabod if you've seen his most recent art.
Okay. I do appreciate the mutes in between because of the background noise. You're a monster, shitty person. I think it's best if we stop talking past this. It won't do us either good. I'll have to follow up with Leo. Well done, Mint. You've had the right decision here. Anything. Best interests. Was that the end of it? Oh, I guess not. That's fine. Have a good one, Mint. Okay. Just make absolutely sure. So, from my standpoint, I made the right move. I don't have to address the Mint Art situation. At worst, without thinking, it is highly possible that perhaps Ichabob, in his heightened state of cancer, was oblivious that talking to a 17-year-old about BDSM at best was gauche and probably a bad idea. I'll not be the guy to have to worry about that, but if that bothers you, you go do you. If you're in the audience or you're on another channel and that you feel that Ichabob is completely deplorable, the thing I'm more interested in is if basically, Ichabod is incapable of, assisting in being a father. I understand that, I can't speak to how much pain the man is in and how much, this, that, and the other that he could apply, but surely he should be able to be there at least emotionally on some level to talk with these kids. And if you really are gallivanting along and having multiple relationships while you have, like, a child back at your original significant other's house and you're doing all this dumb shit, yeah, the fuck, man. Get your shit together. It's part of the reason why I haven't really talked about Ichabob, because I was like, okay, so he's a deadbeat, but when you really think about that, that's pretty gross, man. And to see that you're trying to reinvent yourself in another fandom, you're trying to, like, wiggle your way back in there, and, God forbid you actually, I don't know, maybe have another kid with somebody, that you're not going to be there again. That's gross. Fuck. But moving on. I think that's the end. Does anybody have any final closing thoughts? I guess I'll go back and check the stream.
I believe Coyote said that the link was up on the secondary. Oh, Rouge! You showed up. Hi, Rouge.
Hi, Rouge. Where are they? Oh.
Chat stream.
Hi, Rouge. You're fantastic. Rouge, you are the best, super, most amazing person in the world, and I love you. What seems illegal, Foxton? Shut up, Fluffin. Anyways. Oh, crap. I get a little loopy after streaming as long as I do, so get a room. Well, I'm hopefully I get to run it freaking Rouge over at Babs. Big Marita, who did your PFP, Rouge? It's pretty. I think, was that one of the ones Countess did? Okay. Is Coyote in here?
I don't know if Coyote is in the server.
Is it possible to add someone to this room? You know what? I'll just try and contact Coyote direct. Let me pop out of the call here. Here we go. Kill that Skype call that nobody joined. Whoa!
What's up, gamers?
Ah, holy crap! That's loud.
Loud?
Nah,
Hell
let me.
yeah.
There we go. How is everybody? We good? What did you specifically want to talk about?
Well, I thought you were bringing up buttons and how she apparently stole something. And I actually have
is that who that was? I had no idea. I was talking about whoever was allegedly dating Ichabob.
I know. Yeah,
Oh,
and I thought I was just I just realized I had this video here
okay.
of Buttons who apparently robbed somebody they started GoFundMe for. This was with Leo Convoy right here.
Okay,
So I
well,
just decided, you know what, let's throw it in the second channel and send you the link.
well, I'll, I can't speak to that, but if you'd like to be along here for commentary, I guess we could put it on and play a little bit here. So,
Oh, absolutely, especially after she tried to falsely copyright strike my video, the fucking bitch.
oh,
I'm more than happy to tear into her for you.
is that what they are? I didn't know that. Anyways, anyways, indeed.
Yeah, they're a complete fucking spurg, and I'm more than happy to keep making fun of them for you if you can't do so.
Oh, okay, that's wonderful. So, anyways, this is FNGR, and we're pushing our luck today.
Where I have a fever.
No, it's okay. But just, alright, we should be ready to go. Just want to make sure this is on record, that you do consent to this being recorded.
Yep, I do.
I prefer to be open with people when it comes to stuff like this, so I apologize for the formality, but that's just how I roll.
Leo's such a G.
No, I
really
prefer
is.
you being open about it than just being afterwards like, by the way, I recorded this.
Yeah, that's not how I operate. I mean, some people don't because of legality, but in my state,
They sound like spoken a little bit.
it's a single party consent
Yeah,
law,
I
but
kind of caught
if I'm
that a
trying to
little
help
bit
somebody
too, where
out
it's
and
just
trying to figure out something's wrong, having their trust is important.
Sorry, I'm
And
getting a
as
little bit of
such,
an echo from the stream because we're not in a watch together room. But yeah, I caught that too, and it was just like this poor little girl. She sounds so sweet, and she was just taken advantage of by this person. This poor little baby.
Aw.
Who could be so heartless as to hurt this poor person?
Well, how
Would
old
it
is this
be
person?
Satan?
Well, hold it. How old is this person?
I believe Leo asked that in the course of the conversation.
Okay, well,
I think this conversation, like as far as what Leo asks or Lio, kind of stand by itself. I mean, he was the one who was there. He sent me the recording.
okay. Now, I just want to ask, like, as nicely as possible, Quill, why would you back some shit like this? I know you're capable of better. That's just my thought. Nobody beat up Quillstroke. I'm asking as a friend. That's it.
about things leads to that. So, my moniker is Lio Convoy. My real name is Thomas, and for the past year and a half, almost 2 years, I spent time in the Brony community hunting down pedophiles and sexual predators for the most part. And this thing concerning Buttons right now is more about the fact that Buttons has a long history of treating people very poorly and abusing them. And when you made your comment in ANY's chat last week, I knew it needed to be followed up on, because I need to get your statement and any, if you're willing to, any logs that are relevant to it. Because if Buttons did do what it looks like Buttons did, that is unacceptable, and they have to be held accountable for it.
Yeah.
Alright, so why don't you go ahead and just give me real quick your background, how you met
And
Buttons,
just in case any of this goes sideways, you know what they say. What fun is money if you can't spend it?
and how this GoFundMe situation started and how it ended.
Well, me and Buttons met through Deviant Art or Tumblr due to me being an artist. And I believe we expressed, like, that they maybe commented something on my art, or they had something open that I saw and commented on. Because I like commenting on people expressing that they don't feel well or something like that.
Mhm.
Anyways, that started kind of like a friendship between them and me.
Alright.
So we've been chatting a lot for like 3 years ago it started. And
Can you pause this real quick?
we like
One sec.
talked over on
A fucking
Skype.
mouse.
We wrote on Stevie.
There we go. Yes.
Okay, so for those of you who aren't familiar with Button's pattern of behavior, this is what she fucking does. She starts really buttering up people that she sort of wants to like get really cozied up to, and then she just completely spurgs out when they decide they don't want to be around her. This is in case if for some reason you're not aware of her pattern of behavior. This is what she just fucking does. You know, this is for the new viewers, you know, who don't know the insanity that is Buttons.
Okay. I'd love to sit there and make some contradictory statements, but, you know, again, I'm not really allowed to have an opinion on this whole matter, so, I guess Coyote...
I know, right?
I guess Coyote Lovely's just gonna have to go unchallenged.
Deviant Art
I know.
and Tumblr
Darn, right?
Oh, gee
and
shucks.
stuff. And yeah, you just talked about our problems because we both had a lot of problems.
Okay.
And then it came about the
See, this is just a crazy batshit retarded theory. I'm not a doctor or anything like that. Would you say that someone like this, would you even, I don't know, call it predatorial to seek out other people that are like weak or something like that to exploit? I don't know, if you wanted to.
I mean, I'm not a doctor or anything, but I would call it pretty suspicious at the minimum. I mean, it certainly is weird that she's constantly seeking out people that she thinks, or that, from my perspective, she thinks could be easily manipulated. That seems very strange to me. But of course, like, I'm not a doctor,
Yeah,
I'm not a detective, you know. I'm just pointing out that it looks really fucking suspicious. She's going around all of these much easily like malleable people who are in a very vulnerable position. It looks really weird to me.
I'm just a guy who watches way too many YouTube videos.
That's all I am. Yeah.
I went through a really rough time and had to move out of where I was and move in with my parents and his wife. And it became very quickly kind of abusive.
I'm sorry to hear that.
At the point where they would take all my money, so I couldn't even afford most of my medication.
All right, and how did the GoFundMe come about?
Well, the GoFundMe came about with me kind of wanting to get some sort of help with paying for my meds. Going into the website, I quickly realized that I couldn't stop one myself because, being Swedish, it didn't really work with Swedish banking. So I was like, oh shit, that's kind of bad luck. So I talked a bit with some friends about it, and Buttons was like, well, I can open one for you. And it's like, yeah, that'd be really nice. Like,
Okay.
because
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I see, I have the GoFundMe here for Miles Mangajag. Says
Yep.
325 raised. How much of that 325 did you receive?
0.
You received absolutely no money from this.
I received absolutely no money from that.
God,
that
makes me angry.
Like, the only time I kind of really asked for the money, because I don't remember everything correctly, because
do you mind if we
I
pause
don't
it?
have any
Yes.
of the logs left.
Yes?
Okay. So just wanted to point out real quick. This kind of looks like a similar pattern of behavior to when they tried to, I think, leverage a GoFundMe for a Mint Heart. This looks very similar to me. Like, I know there's not a whole lot of evidence to support this interview right here, but it does kind of, go in line with a lot of patterns of behavior that Buttons has displayed before.
Well,
so
here-
I'm willing to believe this.
Here's my whole thought. I've never met this victim or the person who's making these accusations. They've never reached out to me. I've never talked to them. Leo Convoy is a fairly skeptical, level-headed person. If this story didn't hold up, or if we found out more later, I'm sure he'd be glad to come forward and correct any of these things. I would. So,
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, he came to sort of the same conclusion that I did, which is this really falls in line with a lot of previously established behavior from Buttons. So this is I have an easy time accepting this story as being more than likely the truth of events here.
Okay.
Because
I'd love to argue with you, but you know what? I feel like I can't.
I deactivated
Oh
my
God,
Tumblr.
gee willikers!
Deviant Art
Oh
doesn't have
man.
anything left on it, and Skype is just Skype. But as I remember it, I kind of asked them, like, hey, I could, like, use, like, some money, if you could take some from the GoFundMe and PayPal me. And they were like, oh, sorry, I just had some bad stuff coming up at home, and I had to flee my home and, like, go across the country or something like that.
And that was in
And
2017 or 2018?
2017, I think.
Okay.
And I was, like, taken back a bit and like, oh, you didn't tell me. Like, you should have told me that you were going to take some money. Like,
So here's hypothetically, theoretically, about that time, there was a bigger channel that ended up making a several $1,000 donation to I think a similar person about this. So I'm kind of confused why they bothered taking 300 more.
I'm sorry, I haven't heard. What part are we at in the video? The stream started lagging, so I can't really follow along
it's
on
about-
stream. So
It's about 5 minutes. Here, I'll kill a couple of things here. Here, actually, let me blank the screen here. I want to check these tweets in case anybody brought anything interesting in. Kill the display capture. Or game, yeah. And let's see if any of these notifications have anything here. Let's see. Why games? What's all this about?
All right, so I don't know anything about a bigger channel or any thousands of dollars, so I couldn't comment on that.
Okay.
But because, again, I was not around in 2017, at least not in this section of the community. I wasn't really involved in all this, so I couldn't really say one way or the other.
Yeah, no, I specifically remember where I ran into Coyote Lovely. I think it was the first time I wound up... Yeah, the channel trailer, I think, when I started to take a shot at Dogpatch Press is where I briefly referenced Coyote Lovely, and I was like, this guy's way too cool to ever talk to me. So, anyways, I've tricked you into thinking I'm someone worth talking to. Let's get back to this.
You're definitely worth talking to.
Oh, I appreciate it. I was just fishing.
That would be preferred than me just coming when I really need money, and then you tell me that you've taken some. Like, okay.
All right. Do you still have the logs about?
No, just a thing. Do I bug this shit out of you on a regular basis? Just figured I'd ask.
I mean, no, not really.
All right.
Out that conversation.
I mean, why do you ask, man?
Like,
Oh, I don't know. I was just making sure if, like, there was someone else that we were talking about that might have, like, demanded too much time and your attention on a regular basis. I can't...
No. If you bugged me, I would be able to. I would probably tell you, like, up front. It's like, you know what? You're kind of bugging me right now. If that was the case, I probably would do that.
All right.
I'm very direct about shit like that.
All right.
because that happened on Tumblr, like, and that's like, I'm pretty sure that's on my deactivated Tumblr, and even if it's on my Tumblr that still is up, I can't access it because it's through an old email address that I can't access.
Okay. Do you have any
Like-
communications with Buttons from Skype by any chance?
And none of the history is there. I still have their contacts there.
Okay.
I should have.
Well,
Because Skype deletes everything after 2 years, I think it is.
really, I didn't know that.
These days it's after every 6 months, I think. It's real shit. Like, it used to be really good. It would, for whatever reason, the updates kept fucking Skype up more and more.
Well,
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I kind of stopped using Skype. Like, it takes forever to load when I start up my computer. It's honestly just not ideal. Plus, I like that Discord has push talk functionality. I just prefer Discord, to be perfectly honest. But I have nothing really against Skype or anyone using it.
Okay.
Well, the only reason I'm asking is just, for more evidence. I believe your case.
Yeah.
It's consistent with some of the other things that we've seen go on. Now, man, have you communicated or tried to communicate with Buttons anytime since the I needed the money to flee the country situation?
yeah, like I said, we were friends. Like, I kept in touch with them a lot and, like, heard about all stuff that happened between them and their, at the time, boyfriend, and then what they accused to be rapist, and then apparently it was fine again, and it was all
All right,
very,
okay, I
very,
wanna
very
pause right here.
confusing to me.
Oh?
Okay, so Buttons. This is kind of a direct question out to you. If you've never actually accused your ex-boyfriend, I can't say who that was, of being a rapist, then why are so many people, even people who weren't aware of who he was, under that impression? Riddle me that one, Buttons. Why is that the case? I wonder where they could have gotten that idea.
Sounds like a real...
Gee.
He sounds like a real chump and a sucker, if you ask me. Anyways, moving on.
I mean, this is ridiculous.
At what point during the rest of this did Buttons ever offer to give you any of the money back?
No. Not really, and I don't like to confront people about stuff like that.
I see.
Like, because that gives me a lot of anxiety.
All right. Well, I'm certainly not going to put any pressure on you. How old were you at the time of the GoFundMe?
Well, it was 3 years ago,
I don't know I can't remember what your current age is. I'm sorry.
so I would have to have been 21.
Okay.
So they're a hair lick older than the accused here.
21, something like that.
So
Who is?
Well, okay, so I'm trying to do the math in my head. So and-so would have been like 18 at the time. I think. Yeah?
Yeah,
I don't know.
This was recorded just before my video came out. So this was, if it was in 2017, that would have been 2 years ago. So they probably 18 turning 19 or just 19 years old, I would say. That's probably the time frame we're working with. Best guess, you know?
Okay, no.
At no point has Buttons approached you offering to give you the money back, talk to you about it, or anything.
No, they haven't.
Okay.
They haven't been the one bringing up the money. Like, it has to be, like, me bringing it up for them to even talk about mentioning it.
Okay, because Buttons has had a couple, at least one that I know of GoFundMe's for themselves. Buttons has had people give them money. So.
Oh, really?
Yes. So the fact that Buttons has at no point ever said, "Hey, let me give you the money I owe you," is appalling, morally, appalling logically. And one.
No, I just want to mention, like, hypothetically, theoretically, about this person, that they had money to pay $40 to get into an argument where they got blown the fuck out by Patchwork Art on my channel. They had $100 to buy a Daki Makara off a Brony Inspector. They had probably at least a couple $100 to go to BronyCon, like, 2 different years, which, by the way, I'd like to point out that Purple Tinker assisted in that. There was another individual, you know, I won't go too far.
I'm actually going to take that a little bit further, because recently they've been getting, I believe, $60 to $90 commissions as well, despite the fact that they're in dire financial straits. It almost seems like they might be lying. You know, like they might be stealing money from people. It almost seems that way. If I was to bet, I would say they just might be doing some less than reputable shit and lying to people to get money so they can just get things they want, not necessarily things they need.
Thoughts and opinions of Coyote Lovely don't necessarily reflect the channel.
Me off
of course, I'm
the person.
That's just my interpretation of events. What the fuck do I know?
Yeah,
right?
we're just.
Of course, I just twist facts. All I do is twist facts so that I can suit whatever I need them to. Right?
Yep.
The GoFundMe for Mint Heart when she was having issues at home, and being responsible for those type of things is. What's the word I'm looking for? It's a responsibility. And the fact that Buttons threw that to the side for somebody they claim to be a friend, I find abhorrent. So, here's what we plan to do, because again, I'm going to be open and honest about it. There is a video being made that's compiling the terrible things Buttons has done. And there are some heinous things Buttons has done. This isn't hearsay. It's not made up things. They're traceable, trackable, substantial things with evidence behind them. And we'd like to include this in that.
Yeah, near the end here, he's actually referencing the video that I was making. However, there is going to be another video coming out by a couple of other people that are going to document every single thing. And I mean, like, deep lore. Deep fucking lore. Like, straight to the fucking Mariana Trench of that lore.
I want to bring this up right now. Like, this warmed my heart, so I had, like, a Medicare fan come on and, like, beat me up about, like, his shit. And he's like, well, the one thing we really have in common is like, I have a crazy ex who's wanted to murder me, but I feel like you've had it worse than I did. And I was like, so they do know about them, and they're still not going to give me a hard time. Huh, that's cool. And these are people who live to bitch about everything. I feel a lot better.
I'm not going to ask you for any audio. Just this call is all I'm going to need. But I want you to be aware of what we're going to do with this going forward, because Buttons needs to be held accountable, because this is not right. I cannot promise Buttons is going to pay you back after this. But I have to ask, do you have a PayPal account?
Yes.
Okay. On Friday, I want you to contact me. And the only reason I want you to contact me is because I'm an old man. I'm in my mid-30s and I forget because I get busy. Contact me and let me know what it is, because I'm going to send you some money, because I know you're struggling and it's not right what happened to you. It's not going to be $300-something, but I'm going to send you something, okay?
I appreciate it. And just so you know, I had commissions open. So if you want something drawn.
I appreciate that, but that's not necessary at all.
Okay.
I mean, if you could get them this person's DA, I'd be glad. Yeah, I'd be glad to shill it, or maybe I'll buy something.
I actually think I did get their DeviantArt account. Let me see if I have that in DMs, because it's possible that I can hand that over to you so that you can so you can do that.
All right.
Because like I was honestly, after I heard this conversation, I was my head went to the same fucking spot, and I was just like, if I wind up using this in my video, I'm for sure putting their DA in the description. So let me see if I can get that for you. That might take a second though.
Okay.
Like your art, I went ahead and looked at your Deviant Art. It's very cute. But I'm sorry I had to keep you up this late. I couldn't obviously record or anything on the road because I drive for a living. So, do you have any questions for me about any of this? Anything that you've thought of or concerns?
What more has Buttons done? Like, I'm literally very, like, I don't know much about it because I like to believe in people when they say stuff to me. Like, I want to believe the best in people.
Now I'm scared about giving out their DA because I don't want a bunch of dicks bothering this person. Jesus, this is a premium cinnamon roll.
Do you really want to know?
So I
yeah,
haven't heard the rest of the call. I've been.
Oh, they're like just saying that I like to believe in the rest of people, and I was like, I'm not sure I want to share this person's DA. Anyways.
Yeah, this poor sweet person. Like they just seem like the sweetest person I'd ever heard, and I was just like, how the fuck do you take advantage of somebody like this? Like, who is that? Like, do you have a soul? Are you like internet Satan? like, how do you do that?
I must.
How can anyone be that heartless?
I don't know. Is this just something that people do with DID? Moving along.
They seem very shady.
Buttons has, of course, accused somebody of rape. Then recently accused that person of sexual misconduct. Buttons has interfered with the word getting out of the BronyCon pedophile by interfering with our communications with Mr. Medicare to spread the word. Buttons has tried to get people to go after Anthony, or their ex, and this is the person who has been kind enough to help me try to rout out the pedophiles in the Brony community, because Buttons is angry that Buttons didn't get what Buttons wanted. Buttons has also claimed that their brother is a sexual molester, molested them when they were young, and lets him around children now without reporting it or telling anybody. Buttons. It's a much longer list than I'm really making it sound like.
Yeah.
Buttons has. Do you remember how I told you about how I ran the GoFundMe for Mint?
Yeah.
At one point, Buttons and some friends had gotten together because they didn't like that Mint was saying things that was mean on the internet, and we're trying to conspire a way to keep the GoFundMe money from Mint until her attitude becomes what they wanted it to be. Granted, there was no way they could do that because they'd have to convince me, and I told all of them to piss off in unison. But that even being a thought process is an issue. Buttons has accused multiple
I'm
people
still here.
of
Yeah,
sexual...
what's up?
It was just silent for a while, so I didn't know if the stream was still going on or if the call ended.
All right, so is it 12 minutes?
Misconduct that has yet to be ever proven to be correct in any way, shape, or form. And I'm the type of person that when somebody tells me this sexual thing has happened, I tend to believe them because I know that a lot of people get silenced about those things. But in Buttons' case, Buttons has a systematic habit of abusing everyone Buttons is around. Buttons is also a liar, a manipulator, a deceiver. When the video is released, I will link it to you so you can see the full scope with everything tied to it. But make no mistake when I say that Buttons is one of the worst people I have ever run across.
I could totally debate this, but I'm not allowed to.
On the internet.
Yeah.
The only thing, to my knowledge... Go ahead.
Like, what I realized, like, they would change, like, accounts a lot, and they wouldn't tell me, like, directly what account they changed to. Until I stumble across it and like, hey, Buttons, is this you? Like, thought we were friends, why didn't you tell me? And also like, kinda guilting me into drawing some art for them. And then also we did an art trade, but they never finished their part of it.
What did you want on that art trade?
We were supposed to, like, I drew their character hugging a plushie. And they were supposed to draw my character hugging someone else. Like, it was supposed to be like a cute little thing.
Alright.
But they never completed it and said, like, they had problems at home again.
Okay.
Like, their standard excuse is always troubles at home.
I'm sure, because I've heard it. That's been a constant. Buttons likes attention, and that's all Buttons wants. I want you to send me a reference for your OC and tell me exactly what you want because I'm going to make that right. I'll have to get somebody else to do it and I'll pay them, but because I would myself, I'm an artist, but I am very bad at cutesy things and it would give you nightmares and I don't want to traumatize you any further than you already have been. Like, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to send something your way and show you why it's best not for me to do this. If Discord wants to function, open doggone it.
Shout out to Pastel Opal who drew the Rule 63 Leo Convoy picture. That was amazing.
Man, my computer's as old and slow as I am, I guess. There we go.
We're about 14 minutes in. Was there anything else for after the art trade thing, or?
I don't believe so, but then again, it's been a while since I watched this full thing.
Yeah, I think we're good as far as that goes.
Yeah.
I'll just take a look over here. Isn't this illegal? Which part, Foxton? I could debate this. Insert, give me money. Blank is a spurg. I don't know. Would anybody like to join the stream to chime in?
I just went through my DMs real quick. I don't have a link to their DeviantArt account, I don't believe, but I do have their Discord information, so I'll send them a DM and see if they can link me their DeviantArt account.
So, Firepaw, I think we were just in the call with you. I think I will add you back here.
But yeah, that's a fun little thing that Buttons went and did.
I'd like to have blamed so-and-so's behavior after hanging out with Fallen Wish, but from what I understand... Oh, what the hell? Let me join. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Who somebody said else me in the chat. Foxton, do you have me added on Discord, or what's your Discord? Hello, Rouge.
And there's not I'm pretty sure the video said there's not a whole lot that can substantiate these accounts. However, everything is sort of it's corroborated by a lot of shit we know Buttons has done. There is proof of a lot of the other shit, and all of that, helps corroborate the pattern of behavior that's being talked about here.
Well, so I know Spoken has logs of this fucking shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just trying to keep my bases covered because I haven't seen any, definitive proof of this. But, given that this does line up with a lot of, Buttons' behavior,
I'll tell you what,
I would say that it's more than likely true than not.
Let me blank my screen. I will head over to Twitter. I will grab Spoken Minds Twitter account, and I will plug that in the comments section or the description.
Okay, and then what I just shared was I was looking up the GoFundMe facts and questions and stuff, because that's what I think the Fox was asking about, is this being illegal. And there is something in the middle there of what if I was the beneficiary of one that was misused, and there is supposed to be a clause for this, but I think the time between might be a factor because this isn't a recent GoFundMe.
Okay, I'll take a look. GoFundMe is currently covering campaigns in U.S., Canada, United Kingdom, Germany, Spain, Australia, and the Netherlands. Okay. What does it mean by misuse? The campaign organizers doesn't deliver funds to the intended beneficiary. The campaign description is intentionally misleading to donors. The campaign organizer and beneficiary is charged with a crime related to misrepresentation made in their campaigns. So, did Leo ask if this person wanted to press charges? Or...
I'm not sure. You would have to ask Leo if he asked that question at all.
Okay, that's certainly...
I couldn't speak to that effect for him because I was, again, not there.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't in the recording, then you would need to talk to him about it.
My word.
I'm very good at covering my bases.
No, that's rather interesting. My word, that could be rather costly. Oof. Was there any other questions that we had down below since I was just about to wrap this up? Or...
Oh, I just wanted to say real quick, Buttons, if you're watching this, go fuck yourself. My video's still up and it's not going anywhere. It's fair use, and if you try to copyright strike it again, I'm going to keep putting you on blast on Twitter, because this is fucking hilarious, even if it is still fucking annoying. Seeing you screech is fucking hilarious.
Alright. Alright, some guy's bugging me about something. I'll get to that in a minute. One sec. Actually, I better read that first.
I'm gonna kick on out of here. I'll see you later.
All right, no problem.
Bye.
You know what? I on second thought, I could always sit there and do this after the stream, since somebody's trying to tap me on the shoulder about something else. It's been fun, everybody. I'm gonna hit stop for now.